Want to grow on TikTok? Join our agency for support with expert mentoring, stream protection, and audience growth. It's time to level up. Scan the QR code or click the link in the description to join today.
Eamon Khan here for Seconds Out with the legendary Andre Rozier. Andre, it's great to see you. How you doing?
My pleasure. Thank you very much. And let's talk some boxing.
Let's talk some boxing indeed. First of all, I want you to talk me through the first time Slim walked through your doors and just picking up him as a fighter and honing his craft.
Well, when I met him first, they were running around the gym and trying to get it together. But he asked me, he said, "Uncle, could you please help me become a better athlete?" So I said, "Sure." And I started treating him like he was one of my other fighters, one of my world championship fighters, one of my contending fighters. So with that being said, I've imparted the information that I know to make him better, and he's getting better and better each day.
How moldable has he been as a student of the game, trying to hone his craft? How easy has it been, or difficult has it been for him to pick up those skills?
It's been very easy, actually, because he wants to learn. He wants to be better than he is, and I'm a staunch teacher. When I'm teaching, I don't play. I don't know if you've ever seen any of our videos, because that's what they like to do, record this stuff. And I'm on him like a pit bull. You have to work hard to be better than you are. So that's what I do with him.
In terms of yourself, then, how has it been? Because, like you mentioned, they're completely different world, completely different scene to what you're used to. Has it been any form of transition in training, someone like Slim as opposed to other pros?
No, not at all. That in itself is the difference. I'm not treating him like, quote unquote, oh, he's a YouTuber or influencer. I treat him like he's getting ready for a fight with Charlo, with Terrence Crawford, with any junior middleweight, any middleweight out there. I focus on the real. These are the shots that'll get people in trouble. These are the shots that'll knock somebody out, and then we continue from there.
In terms of the tape then you've watched on Gib, what do you feel are his best skills, and what are you looking out for from him on the night?
Not a thing. I'm not worried about Gibbs at all. I have juniors, 15, 16-year-old kids in the gym that'll knock him out right now. I do, so I'm not worried about Gibbs at all.
So in terms of Slim then, does he have to just focus on himself in this fight, or will he have to adapt in the fight? How do you feel Slim goes about getting the victory?
Well, if Slim does what we've been working on, he'll stop him. He'll stop him early. Literally, that's what's going to happen. So I'm just going to keep him focused on what we've been doing to keep the continuity and the consistency of his attacks going, and you're going to see a vibrant, exciting knockout.
Do you feel that with your experience of training so many pros who have been to the top of the game, you have an advantage over every other coach that's in this scene because of the experience that you've picked up for so many years?
Well, I wouldn't say I have an advantage, because I'm never going to denigrate any other coach. Coaches are working, but I have more experience. And when it comes to that, I excel. I have a lot more experience. I've trained 14 world champions. 4 of them came from my own boxing program from the beginning to the crown. So it's just knowing what you know because you've been there and done it.
How far do you feel Slim can go? Do you feel he's someone who can transition into the more traditional boxing route?
Well, that is the plan. Eventually, when it's right, we will. I'll start edging him into, quote unquote, the real boxing game, and just making sure he's adapt and ready to deal with it. If he's not ready to deal with it, you won't see him there. Until he is, then we'll continue at the pace we're going.
So do you sort of treat this as a pseudo-amateur scene for him to pick up those experiences before going into those fights?
That's a wonderful term for it. Yes, I do. These individuals are on that level, on the amateur level, and he's worked with some of my better guys, some of my real guys. He's worked with Saddam Ali. He's worked with Danny Jacobs. He's worked with a young man out of Massachusetts, Thomas. These are all guys that are going to make you work, especially when he works with Saddam and Danny. So it's helped him. It's bolstered his confidence, and he feels like he's much better than he ever was.
Can I get your eye then on some of the other talent in the scene who you feel could translate into the pro game, starting off with maybe KSI? Do you feel he has the potential to go into that route?
No, I think KSI is a fair amateur fighter. Stay there. Work with your content, your influencing, your many other business ventures. Don't worry about, oh, I'm going to be world champion like Jake Paul is saying. Don't worry about that, because that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. You can't beat those guys who are those guys. It's not going to happen. But as long as you're doing it, it's good. One of my favorite fighters in this series, in this circuit, is Saul Poppy. I think he could really make the transition. Dean, I think Dean could make the transition. The other guys, it would take longer, not to say that they couldn't, but it would take longer. If you were asking me from my heart, who I think could excel to that next level, Saul Poppy and Dean.
Okay, brilliant. I want to get your thoughts on the traditional boxing route as well too. First of all, starting off with the heavyweights, your take on Usyk versus Fury, the rematch. Who do you think gets the hand raised, in that one?
I think we might see a repeat of what we saw before if Fury doesn't make the changes. Fury started off very well, and then I don't know what happened. He seemed like he was fooling around one point. He got clipped, and it was all downhill after that. If he doesn't stay true to the game and not fool around, I think we're going to have a repeat of what we saw in the last fight.
I seem to make mention that a heavier Tyson Fury is the true form of Tyson Fury, the heavier version of the ones that came in the Wilder 2 and 3 fights. Do you feel that that's the case? A bigger Tyson Fury might get the job done in a real close fight again in what was the first time around too?
No, in my opinion, I think that Tyson has to really come down, and because Usyk is ephemeral. He moves well, he controls the atmosphere. That's what he's done for his entire career. The Ukrainian boxing system is fantastic. He knows what to do in that ring. And if Fury is handicapped by anything like weight or movement, it's going to be a repeat. Might even be a knockout. So to tell you the truth, that's where I'm going with it.
And Joshua seems to have made the decision not to take the Daniel Dubois rematch. Do you feel that was the right move for him?
Definitely the right move. He was laid flatter than a pancake in that fight. And I think he has to retool a lot of what's going on. He made so many mistakes. And Dubois has gotten better and better and better. He's beat 3. Jarrell Miller. I forget the European kid's name that he fought. He was supposed to be destroyed in that one. Hogovich. He was supposed to be destroyed in that fight. He came on like gangbusters. And then, of course, the dismantling of AJ. So right now, you ought to leave Dubois alone. He's on fire. No, Dubois.
Dubois did call out Jake Paul, though. Did you see that?
I saw, that. Come on, Dubois. That makes no sense. That makes no sense. I mean, I'm feeling you. I'm giving you the love. Don't come back with no shim sham on it. We don't need that. You know he's not going to fight you. Are you nuts? If he gets in the ring, you kill him. Why would he do that? He's the hottest thing on the planet without getting hurt.
It wasn't just Dubois. Beterbiev did the same thing too.
That's even worse. I mean, I think, you know what, they're doing that because they love Mike so much. It's like, I'm going to exact revenge on Jake Paul. But if I was Jake Paul, you take it with a grain of salt, because you can't beat those guys. Yeah, but you can't beat them. And Beterbiev, I guarantee you, if he was ever to get him in the ring, he'll try to kill him. He'll try to kill him. If they don't stop it, he'll try to kill him. So it's a lot of talk. It's fun, but let's leave that alone.
Did you watch that Jake Paul-Mike Tyson fight through your fingers there, considering how old Mike Tyson was?
No, I didn't, but I was just disappointed because, I was rooting for him, of course. They were fighting anyway, but he was so old in the ring. I mean, and somebody should have gave Mike his walker. I was so disappointed. I wanted to fly over there to Texas and jump in the ring and help him out. It was crazy. It was nuts. But hey, he made $20 million, if not more. So, and he didn't get hurt. So I'm pretty much happy about that.
Mike said that wasn't be the last time we saw him in the ring. He said he might have another exhibition fight. If it's easy money, do you think that Mike should take it and we shouldn't be as concerned about him?
If it's safe for him.
Yeah.
If it's not safe, then don't do it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's 60 years old. You shouldn't be getting hit in your head and stuff like that. You shouldn't. I think that if they have on 20-ounce gloves, put a headgear on, you could do whatever you want to do at that point. But I don't want to see any raw events. I don't want to see him getting hit with 10-ounce gloves, even 12, 14-ounce gloves. I don't want to see that. I love him too much.
Just want to go back to the talk about Anthony Joshua. Do you feel like Anthony Joshua, like in the UK, we're very critical. A lot of people are writing off his chances of ever winning a world title. Do you think this is a fighter who still has that real competitive edge to get back up to the top?
I think Anthony can, because he's definitely a skilled athlete. He's big, he's strong, he's fast, he can punch. I don't know. He has to get his mentality together. Psychologically, he has to get on track, has to focus up. And if he does that, I'll have to see him in action, but I think he could.
What are you seeing in the mentality?
I don't know. It was just blatant disregard for his opponent. You don't do that. He went in hot like a chili pepper and dropping defense, and it was crazy. You don't need that. Focus up. Be the Anthony Joshua that we have come to expect to be great.
Outside of Oleksandr Usyk, do you feel that any of the heavyweights can give Dubois a really hard fight?
I like Okoli.
Okay.
I like him a lot.
Bakoli or Okoli?
Bakoli. Yeah, I like him a lot.
Okay.
I like him a lot. He showed me a lot against Jared Anderson. Even though Jared is a smaller heavyweight, he took care of the business. It didn't wait. Got the job done. And I think it's going to bolster him to the next level.
Question I've always wanted to ask you, and I'll sign off with this one. One of my favorite fighters of the last generation, probably my favorite fighter ever, was Gennady Golovkin. What was it like training your fighters to go up against him, and just how good was he in the ring? Oh,
well, Gennady was very good. I fought him 3 times. I thought that, Curtis, I had to stop the fight because it was just a little too much for him. I thought Danny might have nipped it, but I knew Sergey won it. He definitely won the fight. They didn't give it to him, politics of who's who. But that fight was one that they both went to the hospital. Triple G was beat up. But as a fighter, he's a fantastic athlete. And I can't say anything bad about him. He's very respectful. And he always said, Coach, I don't want to see you no more. so that pretty much was it.
What did he do that was so great in the ring, just in your own words?
Well, it was hard to dissuade him from his mission. His jab was fantastic. His chin was stellar. His punching power was enviable. He was like the complete package. Really, really fantastic fighter, Hall of Famer.
Did you feel that he won any of the Canelo fights?
I thought he won the first one. I thought the way they had it in order to draw, then he lost. I thought he won the first one. I thought the second one was a draw, and he lost the last one. Just at that point, it was over. But that's how I felt it went. Won the first, a draw in the second, and then he lost the third.
Even at the age of 41, I believe it is, he said he's not fully retired. He's open to any interesting offer. I know that Chris Eubank Jr. is someone who's wanted to fight him in the past, but do you think we'll see Golovkin back in the ring again?
I don't think so. I think he's enjoying his semi-retirement. But if I was Chris Eubank, I would not get in the ring with Gennady. If he was 50 years old, he can't get in the ring with him because Triple G will crush him. Right now, he'll crush him. So leave that alone. Leave that alone. Don't think about it, Eubank. Don't think about it.
How big is the gap between them two still with Golovkin being out the ring for so long?
It's too big. It's too big for him to surmount. It's too big a gap. What he's forgotten, Chris doesn't know. So it's too big a journey.
Andre, it's been a pleasure speaking to you. Thanks for being the SecondsOut, sir.
Much. I appreciate
Much
you.
appreciated. Good.